Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Big Show. This is Investing and Trading Live, coming at you every single week, talking about the financial markets. My name is Josh Lilquist, and we are happy to have you with us today. I do have my good friend, and it's almost hunting season for this guy. He's wearing his orange shirt today.
Somebody called me a pumpkin earlier.
Yeah, a pumpkin. There you go. Halloween's coming up. Mr. Al Connickson, how are you doing today, Al?
Doing fantastic, Josh. How are you doing?
I'm doing really good. Hey, you can't get any better when we talk about the stock market every single day. Great opportunities in the markets, and I think a lot of people are missing out on them because they're just hoping things get better. And that's a lot of things I want to talk about on the show here today on Investing and Trading Live is how to take control of your money. There's too many outside sources and things trying to control just too many things these days. Now is the time to do it yourself, to have your more control, have more choices, and have more confidence, especially in the financial world. Al, we got to talk about the markets. I mean, this is a financial show. So you look at the markets this week for our YouTube viewers. Thanks for viewing today. But for the YouTube viewers, we have kind of a, I don't want to say a doomsday event, but because it's really not. But we have some major drops again in the stock market. The S&P 500 on the year is hitting those lows, back at those lows for the year, down about 24, 25%, depending on when you're listening to the show, which if someone has $100,000 in their account and they're in the market, they're probably down $25,000. That's a lot of money. The Dow, this one is down 20%. Same thing. And what really concerns me is a lot of people over the past several years, and we've been talking about this for months now, have been tech heavy. And the NASDAQ is down about 30, depending on when you listen to the show here, about 34%. Now, I'll tell you what, if someone has $100,000 in the account and they're in tech stocks, they are down $34,000, $35,000. Right. So we need to address this, Al. We've been talking a lot about this for several months, of taking control of your own money. And yes, people have the option to do that. It's just we're trained and conditioned to give all our money to a stranger and hope things get better. Right. Let's break it down, Al.
Well, you know what? A lot of our clients, our students come in with portfolios that are much higher than that, too. If you have $1 million portfolio, you might have lost $300,000 in the first half of this year. So what's happening? A lot of people are thinking, well, with the markets being down that low, and by the way, that puts all three of the indexes, the S&P 500, the Dow, and the NASDAQ, into bear market territory.
What does that mean?
It means a lot of people are afraid. It's typically a market that's down 20% or more, or an asset that's down 20% or more. A lot of the individual assets within those indexes are down 70 or 80%. This is not an investor's market right now. This is a trader's market. A lot of people I'm sure are scratching their head when we sound so excited about what's happening.
Yeah, it's great.
So if you're not excited about what's happening and what the opportunities are that are being presented, maybe you're doing something wrong. But let's look at people thinking that with the markets down, those indexes down this much, how much further can they go? Isn't it time that they're going to turn around and go back up again?
Well, does history repeat itself?
Well, let's think about this for a minute. If you go back pre-pandemic, back February of 2020, and look at where the markets were then. Let's just look at the S&P 500.
Okay, S&P 500.
The S&P 500 right now, even with the huge drawdown it's gone through, it's still about 300 points higher than it was in February of 2020. And if you go back to the low of the market in March of 2020, that's when the pandemic really hit. The S&P 500 has got 1,400 points higher than it was then. So what does that mean? Well, it means that we could have a lot more to go on the downside. It may turn around and go up. But here's what more and more people are saying, and these are some of the big reputable people on Wall Street are saying, you know what, we may be going through another what we call a lost decade. They're looking at the next 10 years of being close to 0% returns.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So if you've lost 20, 30, 40% of your assets, whether it's in a retirement account or a regular investment portfolio, and the market's going to be flat for another possibly 10 years, it does not bode well for your financial situation. If you're getting close to retiring, maybe you're not going to be able to. If you are in retirement, Maybe it means you've got to cut back on some things. Those are the things that we want to try to avoid, and that's why we are here. We're an education facility. We teach people how to take advantage of these markets. If you don't know how to benefit in a down market, if you don't know how to protect your assets, then you need to come in. That's what we do. We show you how to do these things. And think about it. If you have a financial advisor and you have a portfolio that is down 20 or 30%, and we're seeing that all the time in these classes, it means you weren't protected by a financial advisor who I'm sure you thought was there to protect you. There are assets, there are strategies that you can use to do that, and that's what we do. We show you how to do that. Basically, what we're doing is showing you how to follow the people that are successful in the markets.
Yep.
Not everybody is losing in a down market. In fact, there are a lot of people and a lot of companies that are having their best returns in a down market.
Yep.
How can they do that? Well, let us show you how to do that, because you have the opportunity to do the same thing that they do.
Let's cover that in the next couple segments here. But you mentioned something I kind of missed there. You said that over the next 10 years, who's saying that there might be a 0% return?
There are a lot of people that are reputable people. I'll tell you one person in particular, Stanley Druckenmiller. Stanley Druckenmiller years ago helped George Soros make $1 billion in one trade, shorting the British pound.
So probably a pretty decent guy, but there's people saying out there, financial people in the world.
Financial people and some of the big brokerage firms are saying that too. Yeah. They're saying don't expect a big comeback because it just might not be there. And that's opinion. They may be right, they may be wrong, but it really doesn't make any difference. You should be prepared for whatever the market is doing, because there are opportunities regardless of what's happening.
Think about that for a second. If you're listening right now and you're 10 years to retirement, can you afford to have zero potential returns in your accounts or even negative? Well, that's what's happening. It's a possibility. That's why we have these investing classes here locally, is to get you involved. Take more control. Be proactive rather than reactive, and don't go into retirement saying, boy, I wish I would have done something different. Right, so we have a couple different classes I want to do a giveaway for. Obviously, we have the free investing class for people that are new to the markets and just want to see what it's all about. What can you do with the markets? How can you use it? That's a free investing class. You can text the word investing to the number 210-210 for 2 tickets. Text right now. Text the word investing to the number 210-210. Or if you're one of those people that you already know you want to get in the markets, you already know you want to trade and invest, we have a 3-day deep dive into the financial markets, and this one is a small tuition. It's $99 just for our radio listeners. You can call 888-682-6466 for this 3-day deep dive. Call 888-682-6466. Make sure to mention you want the 3-day deep dive class. Al, coming up next, I do want to continue talking about these down markets, some opportunities as these markets are going down. You said we're happy. We're going to continue to be happy no matter which way the market moves. This is Josh and Al. We'll be right back.